Hello, this is Ankit Reddy. Welcome to the .NET course from educators.com, world's best online training tutorial for the reading technologies. In this session, we'll learn about introduction to WCF services. Why we mention introduction is WCF service is it's not recommended to learn without having a working experience with the ASP.NET. Once you have working experience with ASP.NET, at least 1 or 2 years, then only I strongly recommend you to go to this WCF service because the WCF service to understand it will take a minimum of 50 videos. So I was just giving introduction about this WCF services, not more than that. And I strongly recommend you to watch a web services session from educators.com before watching this WCF services. What is the WCF? WCF, Windows a Communication Foundation, is a programming platform and runtime system for building and configuring and deploying network distributed services. It is the latest service-oriented technology, and I told that web services was not using by many of the companies, and WCF services are using most of the companies. So only I am telling you people that without having working experience in a ASP.NET, do not prefer to learn WCF services. Once you have a working experience, please go to this WCF services. Please don't jump start to WCF services. And it is the latest service-oriented technology. The same concept, like how we have created web services, the same concept with WCF services. But compared to the web services, there are more advantages with WCF services. Interoperability is the fundamental characteristics of WCF, and WCF is interoperable with other services when compared to web services. Then WCF services provide a better reliability and security in compared to ASMX web services. And what is it endpoint called? Endpoint means there are three things will come to a picture. One is address, other one is binding, and other thing is a contract. Endpoint we called as ABC of WCF. You may get an interview question like, what are the ABC of WCF? A stands for address, B stands for binding, C stands for contract. A is address, basically URL, which specifies that the service where you have created, you will be getting URL, like how we have got URL when we are creating web services. And binding is how we are binding this from a service to a client. Service is having some set of code, then we'll be utilizing it from wherever we want, like any kind of application, like web application, those application, the console application, whatever it is. Not only like our ASP.NET application, you can have it from either a Java client or PHP client, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can make use of that. And binding will be that making the a link between the server and client. And contract, a contract is like a collection of operations that specifies that the endpoint will communicate with outside world. Usually name of the interface will be mentioned in the contract, so the client application will be aware of the operations which are exposed to the client. Okay, let me show you with an example so that you can understand clearly what is the WCF, how do we consume that WCF. Let us go to the Visual Studio, WCF service creation. Go to the Solution Explorer, there is nothing is there. Now let me add a WCF. Right click on the project name, click on add, click on new item. What I am doing here is I am going to create a WCF service. Like how we have created a web service, now I am going to show you that how to create a WCF service. Choose that WCF service, somewhere else it will be there. WCF service. Understand? Click on add. It will get created. Now here we have operation contract. This is called one interface. See here, I is there for interface. In the starting of the videos, I was telling you that for interface will be prefixing with I to see that, to know that anybody sees your name, they can easily predict that it is an interface. This is not mandatory, but it is a convention. That's it. Now we'll be having interface and one class. This is an interface and this is a class. So in interface we'll be telling that just a method name, then we'll be giving implementation inside a class with inheriting that. So if you don't understand what is inheritance, please watch the session on inheritance from educators.com website. Now let us have one more method like same it as operation contract. We'll be decorating here. Hello world. Then I'm going to give implementation here in this class. Here we have inherited. Let me get this hello world method. Now let us see this. Instead of hello world, let me take integer addition, then integer a comma integer b, and here also let me take integer addition, and here we can take integer x comma integer y. Then we should be returning that x plus y. Okay, that's it. We have created a method and it is of type return type integer. Then we are giving code here return x plus y. Now let me execute it. Did it get executed? Detail error? No. Let us close this and let us execute this one. I have executed interface. Now I am executing a class which is there inside this class. Now this is a address. Okay, just remember that this is an address. Now I wanted to use that in a another client, so I just created one. Let me take that. Service creation is this one, client creation. Okay, this is normal web application, nothing is there. So let me create a web form, then I will consume that the service which we have created. Let us add this web page. Go to the web form one .aspx. Now let me add this service reference. Before that, please get this address, copy address, then service creation, client creation. We have under references, right click, add service reference, then click on advanced, click on add web reference, then click on go, click on add reference. Now it is getting adding. You can see this service reference has been added. Now go to the view code. WCF dot localhost dot service one. SVC is equals to new service one. Now SVC dot, you can see here addition. Second, so localhost has been created, and then we take here configuration dot localhost. Now you don't need to give the fully call by name here. Like this you can mention svc dot addition. We are expecting this integer a comma integer b like this, and see here this throwing some error. Generate method stub for addition in WCF client local service one. So let me remove this and try to add it again. Delete. Sometimes it will be irritating us, so you should be very much patience. Delete. Now let me add that add service reference. Go. Now you can see here addition is there. Click on add. Now let us see. Service reference 1 is added. Now let us see this service reference 1. Now what I'm going to do is service 1 dot client is equal to SVC, and this one delete that. Now SVC dot addition we have. See here, now it is correcting 3 comma 7. That's it. Now we wanted to show on a somewhere. So how do we show this? Response dot write of like this. So 3 plus 7 should see that 10. Now let us execute this. Now we are having a 10 we have got. Like this we will be executing the one which are having services created and services executed. Let us see this web.config file, and here you can see endpoint, and you can see binding is called a basic HTTP binding we are using. And then address is this one. From where we have got this one, you can go here and see this service1.svc, service1.svc, and then binding is basic HTTP binding. Understand? Contract is this is the one. Service reference 1.I service 1. From where we have got this, just go to WCF service creation here. Now you can see this I service 1. This is the one we are getting there for the contract client creation. Service 1 reference 1 dot I service 1. Service 1 reference means this is the one. Okay. Now we have seen endpoint. Endpoint is a collection of address, binding, and contract. Here we are seeing that binding is HTTP binding. Now, in the same manner, service creation should be running. So we can have this access from console application as well. Let us see that service creation, let it be in a running mode. No. Again, I clicked on this when iService is there. Should execute when the class is open. Let it execute now. Now it will be coming correct. Let's copy this address. Now go to this console application. We can execute from the console application as well. Add service reference. Wait here. Go here. Then you can see here two methods got added. Let it be using WCF using that service and reference. Now service one client SVC is equals to then console dot write directly no matters SVC dot addition of can pass some values for this. That's it. If you wanted to see the message without closing that console, we'll be using console.readline or read key. Now let's get this. We'll see the output as 9. We may not be seeing. Let me increase the font. Now you can see this 9 is there. So if you wanted to pass this from your end user, instead of sending statically, you can always send like this console.writeline, enter first number. Then you can read it in an integer. Fnum is equals to console.read line in the same manner. So it is read line is a string type, and we are trying to assign the string to integer, so we should convert into integer. Not dot 32 console.read line. No, in the same manner, let me do it for second number also. Please enter second number. Now we can pass here if number, and here this number. Okay, now we can see that it will be asking us to enter a first number. Now I have entered 10, enter second number 25. You can see that 35. If you want, you can give a meaningful message here. Addition of two numbers is, if you can execute, oh sorry, you need to plus concatenate with the plus symbol. Now you can ask 25 and 35. Addition of two numbers is 60. Both 25 plus 35. So this is how we will be creating a web service, WCF service, and we can consume it from any of the application. Let me go to introduction to WCF. WCF stands for Windows Communication Foundation Services. What is endpoint is ABC. A stands for address, B stands for binding, C stands for contract. And you can see that wherever you have created that service, client creation, here you can see it will be created whenever you added a service. Endpoint, address, binding, and contract. Okay. Now see these differences between web services and WCF. Web services can be hosted in IaaS. It can be hosted in IaaS, Windows Activation Services, self-hosting, Windows Services. These are other techniques to host a web service or WCF service in your client application. There are many other applications like this. And attribute will be have web service. Whenever you are having a method inside a class. And it is service contract attribute has to be added in the class. And web method is there here, operation contract. You can see that we are creating a client creation, service creation. Here you can see we have added operation contract, and here is a service contract. That is what I am talking about here. Service contract attribute has to be added to the class. Operation contract attribute represents the method of exposed to client. If you don't remember, I will create one web service, then you will understand. New item, web service we want. This is also called as .asmx web services. See here, this is generated as web method. Understand? And then it is created as web service. This is what I'm talking. Web service. Sorry, web service and web method. Web service is therefore class is decorated and method is decorated as web method. And in a WCF, you can open this WCF service creation. Yeah, service contract and operation contract. This is two I'm talking here in this differences. Web method, web service in a web service, and WCF is service contract and operation contract. There are many other differences. I don't want to give in depth of this web service and WCF because it may create a confusion more. So just introduction to WCF service, this is enough to know about WCF service, how to create and how to consume, because to know entire thing about WCF service it will take around 50 videos. So again, I'm not suggesting you people to jump start with the WCF service because this is an advanced topics. Until unless you are having minimum 1 year to 2 years of working experience with ASP.NET, please do not jump start with WCF service. This is my sincere session. Thank you for watching. We'll meet again for the next session for the next video.